What is Beijing saying?
Well, and China's crying foul. It says Vietnam is illegally disrupting its drilling operation, infringing China's sovereignty, that it faces more and more challenges in safeguarding its national maritime. So China now taking the dispute to the United Nations, even after repeatedly refusing to resort to an international tribunal. There have been several confrontations between ships near the Paracel Islands, which both countries claim. Vietnam recently said a Chinese boat struck and sank one of its fishing vessels. China, on the other hand, blames Vietnam for continuing to send ships near its oil rig placed off Vietnam's coast. It estimates that its ships have been rammed more than 1,400 times. It is tit for tat. It's prompted one security analyst to comment that both sides are testing each other's resolve. The question is, who will blink first? To be sure, China is flexing its muscle, economic and military. It's claiming sovereignty over large parts of the South China Sea. We're talking hundreds of miles from south of China's Hainan to equatorial waters of Borneo, the region said to be rich in mineral and energy deposits. Ange.
Didn't China just reject Philippines' attempt to also meet with this dispute at a UN tribunal, basically rejecting that? And also very interesting, the timing here, that Vietnam's prime minister just saying last week in a Bloomberg exclusive that it wants to pursue this in court, perhaps at an international court here.
Well, it is a significant change in China, and we're seeing some pressure as well. Some analysts see the conflicts as threats to peace. Comparisons have been made to Europe before World War I, World War II. We have China expanding its military might, Japan starting to shed its post-war pacifism. We have energy resources at stake. The rising tensions are a huge concern, and China is beginning to see it differently as well. Apart from disagreements between China and Vietnam, there are competing claims by the Philippines, as you indicated, Brunei, Malaysia, China locked in a separate dispute over the Senkaku Islands with Japan, plus a separate dispute with India over the two countries' land border. A lot at stake here, Ange. The countries involved in conflicts have a lot to lose by fighting. China is Japan's largest trading partner, for example, and even now, the G7 has expressed concern about developments in the South China Sea and the use of force. So, a huge concern and a change in tact by China.